good evening, everybody. Sammy Thunder here. Welcome back to the channel. Tomorrow and Sunday are going to be big days, card shows. Tomorrow is going to be going to a card show in Trumbull, so I'll do some recording there hopefully, and maybe I'll make some pickups. And then Sunday is a big selling day at the Babylon show in Long Island, so definitely come out. I'll be set up there. If you are in the Long Island area or in the New York City area and want to venture out, I'd love to see you. Hopefully I'll get a chance to see you out there. But tonight's video, I have some, these aren't anything new. These are things that I've had for quite some time, but they're serving as inspiration for the National. And I've just been thinking about like what sort of combination do I want to devise my budget into? Do I want to go for a big, like one of the really, really big expensive cards and then just kind of get a few very inexpensive cards? Or do I want to go for kind of like a balanced variety of different things? And so, a prime example is, I've always been in the market for the Topps 52 Willie Mays. Given my, financial situation with how much I like to spend on cards, I really, that's a card that is financially changing. So a low grade, like a one, is what I'd be after if I were to go after that card. And generally what I've seen lately is like a low grade 52 Mays can go anywhere between 17, 1800 on the low end to about like 23, 2400 on the high end. It's a beautiful card, and it's a card that I would love to own, but realistically, it's a lot of money, and it's understood. So I'm kind of trying to get myself brought back down to planet Earth here a little bit, and I thought that these would serve kind of as inspiration. Now, I think vintage basketball kind of plays, second fiddle to baseball. I think baseball is always going to be the primary focus of collectors. But basketball, I think, has a really warm place in my heart for vintage stuff, especially since I grew up surrounded by it with my dad loving the Celtics. My grandfather, I don't know if my grandfather was a Knicks fan or a Celtics fan. I think he was more of a Knicks fan, like Walt Frazier. He loved watching Walt Frazier and Earl the Pearl Monroe, Willis Reed. Those were, I think, some of the big names then. Let's just start here. If I were to go the more balanced route, I think adding to my ruler set would be a great thing. And the ruler sets, I think, are just not as appreciated comparatively to some of the other stuff out there in the vintage basketball. It's a small market, I think, of collectors, but I know they're popular, don't get me wrong, but I don't think they're as sought out compared to the cards that come from. So this is from 1969, 1970 set. I think these came in the packs and they'd be folded up, and that's kind of how they look when they're expanded. And to me, I love the artistry of the illustrations of all the players. I love the different color choices to go with the yellow. And it's really fascinating to me to see them really shine so nicely. And it's kind of nice for me that they're not as popular amongst collectors comparatively. So it makes it much more likely for me to make a good deal on these because I just think they tend to sit around. But the strange thing is, I remember last year, the National maybe had one or two dealers who had them with them. And that could potentially be because of the fact that nobody was buying them, so maybe they just decided not to bring them. Or the fact that really they're just not as common to find. Like the Havlicek, I grew up a Celtics fan, so Havlicek is a huge name in my family as far as being a fan. And so Hondo, it's kind of cool because this was Hondo's technically rookie year or first year card. And so to have his first year card and also to have the ruler, I think is really special. and it's just super cool. Shows the heights of all the players. And what really got me started was finding the Wilt Chamberlain in a collection that I purchased a couple of years ago. And the Chamberlain looks really cool. I mean, they all look really cool. But then speaking of New York Knicks, or at the time he wasn't a New York Knick then, but Earl of Pearl Monroe. So why am I showing this? I'm thinking about trying to find the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm trying to see if I can find his ruler, and so to add to the collection, I think the Lou Alcindor is the most valuable ruler to find. I'd prefer to find it raw over graded just to kind of add it to my collection here. I think it's doable, and I think price wise, they tend to go anywhere. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it, but I think they go anywhere between like 400 to 600 or $700. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I would have. That's if I decide to go the more balanced variety budget and try to get like a number of good valued cards or valued rulers in this case. I think the Alcindor would definitely be in the budget and leave me with a lot of room to do some other things. This binder kind of collectively holds two sets. It's probably need a bigger binder at this point, but there's something about the Topps 1969. We were just talking about that, and the 1970 set, and you go from a vibrant looking ruler insert set to kind of a more standard, ordinary style that the Topps basketball 69-70 had. And so I got out of building sets a while ago, but I've had a bunch of these 69-70 cards that I've picked up over time, and I just can't let go of them. And so while I'm not in any serious rush to make any big, I'm not in a rush to complete this set, there are some names that I need to fill out. And I've gotten the big ones. I have Kareem's rookie, Havlicek's rookie, Big O is in there. I mean, there's a bunch of big names that I've already gotten, but there's some they're not minor, but there are some Hall of Famers who I do not have yet. Like Wes Unseld, I think his rookie year is technically in this set. But I just, every now and then I love looking at it. Like here's a Havlicek, kind of a low grade version of Havlicek's rookie. I have one that's a 4.5. That's in a little better condition than the one that's here. And lastly, some of the favorite cards that I have in my collection that I'm just glued onto that I cannot move is my T206 collection. And I love having it in this high grade baseball card collecting album. I've got this in a collection with cards in it already, but I replaced them with my T206, and just really special. I got Jake Beckley there. One of my favorite stories is Bugs Raymond. It's a kind of a sad story, but really special player. You got Sam Crawford on the bottom, and you got some Southern Leaguers, New Orleans when they had a team, and Johnny Evers. I tried to send this one in. Unfortunately, SGC denied grading it because I guess it was too fragile for the holder. So they didn't authenticate it. So on top of the potential of getting a Lou Alcindor rookie card, or excuse me, the ruler, and maybe some 69-70 commons, what else is on my radar? I'd love to get a Mordecai Brown, either a portrait or his Cubs jersey action shot, I guess you could say. And so that is definitely on the radar. Those cards in particular, and other rookies that I don't have in my collection because I'm a rookie card collector for the most part. So names like Ferguson Jenkins rookie card, those are they're not too expensive. You can acquire them for rather cheap, not too much. Depending on your budget, of course. My budget, I'm hoping to bring about 3,000 with me. I can't imagine spending all of it, but you never know. So it's about twice as much as I brought last year, And so we'll see what happens. I think it'll be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. And just to finish off this video with a few tips that I'd recommend if it's your first time going to the National, I would bring supplies with me for different types of supplies. Make sure you're wearing comfortable walking shoes. It's a big, big space, and you're going to be spending a lot of time walking around. Bring your own water with you because going to the concession stands are going to be really, really expensive. So, bottled water will get you through really nicely. And people obviously will be bringing those cases full of slabs, but backpack works fine. Um, Fanny pack, whatever works best for you. And finally, supplies in terms of card supplies, I think it's probably good that you bring either top loaders, card savers, sleeves. There's going to be places where you might want to buy cards in a box or loose cards, and the seller might not have the right card protector for you to take with you, and rather than walk around with a loose card and potentially get it damaged, it's probably best that you bring your own supplies just so you don't have to spend money at some of these tables that have like supply tables. Not to say you shouldn't support them, but it's probably best that you bring some of your own stuff just so you are covered in that sense. Because I've done it before where I've gone to shows and I've bought cards that were in binders and nobody had a top loader, and I literally had to juggle this thing without damaging corners or sides or creasing the card. It's not fun. Don't recommend it. But yeah, I hope to see everybody. Thursday, I know, is the big YouTube meetup, so I look forward to seeing y'all there. I'm going to be posting a video tomorrow and with my card show in Trumbull, and then Sunday I'll do another card show video then. I'll do a weekend recap sort of thing, so look forward to that. And thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you soon. Take care.